We are starting late, so we do our best to finish on time. Just be sure that we won't miss the bus for this evening. So anyway, we will be short, but as it was planned on the program, we will, both of us, Alain, the president of the Anglo-Arabian Studbook, and myself as director of the Français Studbook, do a quick and short presentation of our both Studbook. So I will now leave the microphone to Alain, which will present you his breed.
Good afternoon. Sorry for my English, it's English from the south of France, like my courses. So the Anglo-Arabian breed is bred in the southwest of France. It's a very old breed. It's a very old breed. And a very little breed. It's born in the century 19, when Napoleon came back from Egypt with Arabian horses. He crossed these horses with native mare from the center of France and the southwest of France, and with thoroughbred to make French thoroughbred. The Studbook was created in 1844 by Mr. Gaillot, who was director in the National Stud in Pompadour. So it's a very old Studbook. And we created an international Studbook in 1993. The name is CIAA, with 11 countries, because the Anglo-Arabian breed is bred in many countries, but with the same rule and the same rule of Studbook. The Studbook, I go quickly because we have not too much time. We have 3 sections. The section 1 is a pure bred, the pure Studbook, with only thoroughbred and Arabian in the origin. The section 2, it's 1 for 16 different that Anglo-Arabian, Arabian or thoroughbred. And the section 3, it's crossing Anglo-Arabian with another parents that Anglo-Arabian, but this parent has to be agreed by the Anglo-Arabian Studbook with a special rule, and the product have to have 12.5% Arabian blood in his linear. I don't know if it's okay. What happened in France is that Anglo-Arabian is used for crossing. More and more the section 1, the pure Anglo-Arabian, and 2 are decreasing because we use Anglo-Arabian to cross and improve the other sport horses. So our problem is to maintain the section 1 and 2. In the different countries of the CIAA, the main country for the Anglo-Arabian is France. We have 700 more or less births each year. After we have the Spain and the Italy and Poland. It indicates that at a total we have 1,700 births of Anglo-Arabian all around the Europe. The CIAA members are Germany, France, Switzerland, Italy, Spain, Brazil, Sweden, Poland, Great Britain, Portugal, and Morocco. All these countries have the same rule, the same Studbook and the same rule. We have a meeting regularly each year with the General Assembly in May in Roma, and we apply the same rule for all the Studbook. It's very important. And we are asking to recognize the CIAA as a member of the WBFSH for the Anglo-Arabian blood. At the moment, there is only the French Anglo-Arabian and the Spanish Anglo-Arabian at the WBFSH. The French Anglo-Arabian was created in 1978 in 1978. The target is to increase the breed promotion with communication, breeding news, Anglomania, etc. We have in many events. To improve the purebred is our main target today, to reproduce with labeled stallion and mares, and to help the marketing and valuation of the Anglo-Arabian breed. The Anglo-Arab breed has a big success in eventing. We have a lot of very good horses in eventing. In the French team, for example, in each event we have always there is at least one Anglo-Arabian horse. And we can see that we have a lot of Anglo-Arabian in the podium, in the European Championship, in the Olympic Games, etc. The stallion, the rule for the stallion, there is a direct approval for the Anglo-Arabian, Arab and thoroughbred, and for the other studbook, they have to be accepted by a committee with the performance, the morphology, the paces, and the genetic. So a stallion from another studbook can't produce an Anglo-Arabian except if he is agreed by our commission. So it's we have some ambassadors of the race. Sorry, it's very short, but we have only 15 minutes. For example, Tempo de Paban, it's a winner of CSCO today. He win in the States. He was in Aachen the last time. Punch the Left with team bronze medal in the European Championship in 2013. Fischer Taquinou is individual European Championship with Michael Young. Secret de Mon Cœur in endurance. There is a big market for endurance, so for the stallions. And two more, at least, Upsilon. It's a very known stallion who wins the World Championship in the Lion d'Angers at 7 years old. It was in 2015. And Alerta Malibor, we win the World Championship so in the Lion d'Angers for the 7 years old in 2017. So we have a very, very big success in eventing with the Anglo-Arabian now, and there is a good market for the Anglo-Arabian at this level. Okay, it's all for, if you have questions, I am at your disposal.
I don't know if some of you have questions for Alain, but no. Okay, so it means that everything has been clear. Thank you. I'll do mine. Trying to be as quick as him. I just have a little bit more slides to present. But so yes. The Selle Français Studbook, it's a friendly studbook with the Anglo-Arabian. We have a lot of connection with this studbook too, and we are the two sport studbooks in France compared to other countries which have more, but we are only two in France, and we are sharing our breeders. So for us, I will present you briefly a little bit of history, some champions, the selection goal of the studbooks, breeding program, selection management, service to breeders, and just some promotion and communication. I will be quick because you already got a lot of information in your welcome packs. If you take time to read it on your way home, you will learn a lot about the Selle Français Studbook too. Just about the history, it's as you see on the screen, it's a cross breeding of thoroughbred stallion and local brood mares from three main regions in France. Normandy region, still very known in the world for the Selle Français, but also the Vendée region. It's a region where we are now at the moment, and the center region of France. It was called Charolais region. On the history, it starts with a decree in December 1958, so we had 60 years last year. As under the name Selle Français, as is specified on the slide, And July 2003, the Ministry of Agriculture handed over the responsibility for the Studbook to the breeders through the INSF, with the name of the association, because we are an association, a breeding society now, since October 2018, as we are recognized as a breed society officially. Some key numbers: we have 6,000 breeding farms, so average of 1.7 mares per breeders, not so much. 6,500 foals a year for 11,000 mares covered per year. 600, a little bit more, approved Selle Français stallions, so it doesn't mean only Selle Français stallion, but approved to breed in Selle Français. And 63% of the production is tested in competition. So just here to present you the repartition. So we have nearly 5,000 stud farms with only one mare. And if you see, it's less than 2% of the stud farms with more than 5 mares. So it's very specific of our country too, and also of the way we breed horses in France. It's really typical from our breeders. Some Selle Français championship and major lineage and performers. Just a quick look on that. You have some I think you already know: Cabri de Lille, Prêt à Tout, Timon d'Or, Rockefeller. So all of them are international winners. Sirène de la Motte, which is gold medal at the Pan American Games this year. We also have a team for eventing. So in the French eventing team, we have 4 Selle Français, and one of the riders, which like King du Brio, is one of the écuyers from the Cadre Noir here. So he is riding a Selle Français at the international level. We also have Toledo de Cresquer, Poidre Vert in vaulting. Some Olympic champions in show jumping: Sydney Prince, Rautep de Toscane, was for the last Olympic Games. King du Brio, I thought about him. Piaf de Bneville, and also Obgun Nouveau and Samurai Duzo, both are in Germany now. Some major lineage. I think most of you already heard about those famous stallions, and if we go back in the history, it starts with also Ibrahim, Almé, and then you had Jalisco, Galoubet. I will let you discover all of that in the book I left in the welcome pack. But here we have some others. We have Grand Veneur, Nankin, and the thoroughbred Ranzo, which is on the pedigree of Cor de la Brière, that the German breeders knows very well. Also now, still in the more modern times, I would say, we still have Diamant de Sémilly, which great stallion for show jumping, was the second best stallion in 2008. And Jaguar Male in the eventing was also the second best world eventing stallion in 2008. Now, just a few words about our breeding program, the objective and task. It's to guide and provide orientation, selection, and genetics improvement to the Selle Français horses. Try to be in adequation with the demand, with the market, I would say. We represent Selle Français breeders in France and all over the world. We try to, because we also try to promote the breed in other countries. We promote, as I say, national and abroad. On the selection program, primary objective, it's clearly the performance in jumping and eventing. It's the two major disciplines that we focused on, and also as our level, focusing on the breeders on the 0 to 6 years old. We also add some morphology, locomotion, behavior, health, and now also a lot of selection through genomics and all the new studies and all that the science and the genetics can provide or try to. So selection, specifically we have five tracks, we would say. Something about foals, the male 2 and 3 years old, female 2 and 3 years old, specific championship for them. And then we have 2 specific sports for gelding and female at 3 years old on the saddle. We have the championship, which will be in 2 weeks now in Equitalion. And we have one in eventing that you will, for those who come on Saturday, you will see that will be the final. For the 3 years old, with on orientation to eventing. We try to find, and we organize that in collaboration with the Anglo-Arabian Studbook, because this specific championship is special because it combines both Anglo-Arabian 3 years old female and gelding and Selle Français 3 years old too. So the male track selection at 2 and 3 years old. For the 2 years old, we are looking at the conformation gates, lost jumping. We quite changed a little bit our calendar this year, so the selection are now and the autumn. And the final championship will be next year in February. For those who used to follow us, it used to be now, actually in October in Saint-Lô, but we move it in February in Saint-Lô too. So I start to tell you, you're already very welcome to come on the 21st of February in Saint-Lô for the stallion show. And you will see the maybe new the future of the stallion, which will be just the baby 3, I would say. We also have the 3 years old that we are selecting at the moment. They are looked by our judge also for conformation, loose shirt gates, but also jumping under saddle at this moment. And they will be directly selected for the testing part, which will be in December this year. Once again, you're very welcome to come to the restitution of that. It will be the 18th and the 19th of December in Saint-Lô, in Normandy. And we will select around between 50 and 63 years old horses. They will be with under the view of experts for 10 days. And during the 10 days, they will be evaluated. And at the end, we have 2 days open, where we will also welcome some international riders to get their impression about the horses. And we put all of this information then in the Guide des Étalons. So it's a guide. You got that guide from this year in your welcome pack too. So it gives all information, all technical information about the young stallion, new young stallion approved in the Selle Français Studbook. In the first pages, you will see it's described how to read it in English, and you will see on each page very specific. You have the notation, but you also have information about the evaluation with some wording. It doesn't stop at 3 years old to know how to evaluate our young horses, but we have. The promotion of the horse is done in link with the SBSF, the Société Hippique Française, for the training of young horses at 4, 5, and 6 years old for qualification and final. For the jumping, it's in Fontainebleau. For eventing, it's in Pompadour in September. But we also have a dressage one, and for other disciplines, they have 2 other places. Female tracks, just quick view. We have a specific circuit for the young fillies at 2 and 3 years old. We make a good importance of the assessment of maternal lineage on that for those female, and we create some labels about. We think that it's always been very important to have a good mare pedigree and everything. So we did some specific maternal lineage that we called, and so that's a female from this year, the champion from this year, 2 and 3 years old. But here we have a system of calculation. It gives a final notation of the mare, and we create, as I said, sport labels. It depends on the genetics of the female. Then we have the brood male labels also. So it's a combination of what the mare, the own performance of the mare, and the performance of products on its 5 mothers. So it also gives you a different label, and conformation and how the mare is producing by herself. All of this is added on the program we issue for all of our championship. It comes from information from the central database, and we add those information. So it's a completely, I don't know how to say that, but we really try to give most information as possible to the breeders and to the people who come to our championship to describe how the family of the horse is. So we do that for foals, but we do that for the 2-3 years old female and male. So it's we know that people really like that because it gives a lot of information on the championship. The foal was this year, so the selection of the foal is a very early selection, but it also helps to know how our stallion or young stallion gets production. We encourage specifically we have a specific encouragement, I would say, on the young stallion, and we have a really specific promotion for them at the national level when they arrive at the national championship. And as you see, we have 4 sections for male, female, old and young. We could say it depends on when they're born. So we have 4 champions on the foals championship. Here is more on the sport part, as I said, for the sport for jumping at 3 years old, and the final will be in 2 weeks. And this is the final, which is starting this evening, actually, with free jumping in Le Lyon-Angers. So it's for the eventing. And for management of blood, we have it's very important. Sometimes people say that we are an open studbook. Of course, we work also with foreign bloodlines, but we know also how important it is to keep what was the origin of the Selle Français. So that's why we created this specific label we call it Selle Français Originel. It means that on the pedigree of a horse, we look at the 4th generation, and of the 4th generation on the consecutive bloodline, as it said, we find a Selle Français soul-bred or other than soul-bred, Arabian, Anglo-Arabian, French trotter or half-blood. Those were the start of the Selle Français when it has been created. And if we found those breed at the 4th generation, the horse himself has got the label of Selle Français Originel. And it's really important to put that underline, to show also to the breeder, or for those who are looking for Selle Français Originel, or to know who wants to produce in the Selle Français Originel foal. It doesn't mean that the horse is himself a Selle Français, but we really look in the pedigree and how it is, and we want to protect that. I know that maybe in the Irish try to do something similar about the origin of the breed. Some services to breeders, just as I think most of you have done also. Something about breeders training session. We also have judge, also training session for judge. We cover all France for that. And also, and of course, the young breeders program, which is very interesting, and I won't tell about very much about the young breeders program, but it really helps, and it's very important, and we really take time to train our young breeders, and we involve them in our circuit, and we're very, very proud this year because we, at the World Championship, we finished 5th on the 20 Studbook which were represented, so it's very good, a very good result for us. Communication and promotion, as I said, you have the Young Stallion Guide, and then we have a magazine, and also on our website we have a shop online, and this year we call that Éleveurs, the Livret de l'Éleveur. It's a book to help the breeders to know how to cross, how to choose a male, how to choose a female, how does it work for the to encourage, and how it works. So anything a breeder should know actually to breed in Selle Français. So I've tried to be quick and not so bad, 15 minutes. So thank you very much. I don't know if some of you have some questions about that, but anyway, I'm here till Saturday, so don't worry if you have questions, I will be very happy to answer. Thank you again.